Chairman, it's 5:30 and you have a quorum.
We go ahead and start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Invocation.
Lord, thank you for the promise of where two or more are gathered, you are there. We welcome you amongst us today. We ask that you open our ears so that we may hear your voice, open our minds so that we may receive your eternal wisdom, open our spirits so that we may know your leading, and open our hearts so that we may receive your eternal love. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Do you have any public comment, Zeke? No?
Chairman, we have no public comment at this time.
All right. I'd like to go straight to call it to go to executive session if possible, please.
Sir, Chairman, recommend that you entertain a motion to enter into executive session for items 6A and 6B under section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code.
Okay, could I get a motion?
Don't move. Second.
Motion second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries.
Yeah, motion to reconvene.
Second. Move to reconvene.
Move to reconvene. Second.
Did you move? I moved.
Move in second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those against, same sign. Carries. Item 1A and 1B, Ruben Alfaro will give you a brief report on program management activity, and Ramon Alfaro will give you a brief report on construction activity. So good afternoon, members of the board. I'm going to go through the report on development activity. First, we're going to go through the strategic plan update project overview, and then we're going to go through the overweight permit summary. So the first slide there shows you the overall ultimate build of the RMA projects. Of course, it shows the La Jolla Reef route, which is complete by TxDOT. It shows IBTC, which has been transferred to TxDOT as well. After environmental clearance, and SH68, which is part of TxDOT, and it includes 365 toll, section A West, section C, which is the West Loop, and section E and F, which would be our East Loop.
I have a quick question. Why is section E and F in dashed? Solid.
Because that is, I'll answer that question, because that is at the tail end of the strategic plan. We have it at the very end of our multi-year plan, which Ruben, do you remember what years it's in? But it's in the around the 2040, 2045 horizon. Yeah, 2040, 2045 horizon.
I think to Mr. Rodriguez, simply in case, in view of what we have been explaining, to assure ourselves that that is part we do, you should treat it as such, just in case you need it for evidence.
So the reason we have it dashed on, we have done no work on it. No work. It's just a line on the map. And we haven't done any preliminary engineering. We haven't done any schematics. We didn't do any preliminary design. We don't have any work on it of any substance. And that's kind of why we show it dashed. Because the original loop, Vice Chairman and Directors, even back in 2010 that I talked to you about, we was focused on this, and we really didn't do any work over here. So we have, this is the extent that we have in the file. We have some maps that kind of show that more or less is where, but we don't have any preliminary engineering. We don't have any schematics. We don't have
And
any.
do you need that in order to make it part of the overall loop?
No,
You don't need any definiteness or specificity on the intent for the RMA to continue that loop down the road.
no, and that's why we have it in the plan. We show it in our formal plan, in our adopted plan. We show it. I'm just saying we haven't spent any money or
There's a
time.
difference between spending and intending to.
Yeah. We intend
All
to.
I'm saying is, do you need to bring that into the major loop just so that the RMA knows exactly what its intent is 10, 15, 20 years?
So what I've directed staff to do is start developing the budgets that we need to develop this, to do what's gonna cost for preliminary engineering, what's gonna cost for right of way, what utility relocates for construction, because and so,
And I'm just saying, you need to bring it into the family.
yes,
That's all I'm saying, right?
yes, sir. Yeah, right now we have it in the plan, but we don't have a lot of data on it.
I mean, can we do that? Just like Vice Chairman saying, it's, the 2024 strategic priorities, put that map right here,
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So next meeting, we'll be having a workshop to go over the plan. Because we need it, we're required to update it every 2 years. And so this is the year to update it. And so we're gonna have a workshop with the board at the next meeting and go into a deeper dive into all the details and dollars and where we're at with our efforts.
That makes a lot of sense because, upon the discussion we just had. We need to know, we need to know what you're looking at, and obviously, we may not be the board to take action at that time. Right. But at least we know exactly, and the county knows, and the citizens and the commissioners and the judges and everybody else knows exactly what the intent is. Or the plan may be 10, 15, 20 years from now.
Yes,
That's all I'm saying.
Yes, sir. We've been very focused on this.
Yes, sir.
But yes, we need to start bringing this into the plan and start looking at some timetables and costs and stuff.
So next slide is gonna show working progress for the future 2025-2029 strategic plan. This is the map that we intend to present to the board. In the strategic plan, obviously, it's up for consideration. We have to update the strategic plan every even year for the next 5 fiscal years. So in here, you'll see long-term and short-term projects for that strategic plan. As a short-term project, you'll see obviously IBTC, which has been transferred to TxDOT and SH68. For our projects, you'll see segment 4 as a short-term project from 0 to 5 years, and section C as a long-term project from 5 to 10 years. This is still a work in progress. It's up for discussion as well. And it will be presented at that workshop that Pilar is discussing about.
Plus, what we'll add to this E and F.
So then would you add an extra category from 10 to 15 years, maybe 15 to 30 years?
More than likely, that's what's gonna happen. Yeah, super long range or something. I can put this on the list. So this is just a snapshot of the list of overweight, oversized routes that we have. We need to update this to show a new route that was added by a minute order from Texas Transportation Commission, which is Dolphin Road in South Pharr. Next, we're gonna see a map showing those overweight, oversized corridors, and it's already showing 16 as the new route. It's from the BSIF exit to 0.8 miles south. And it connects to a city of Pharr property that is gonna have some overweight traffic to it. This is gonna be updated on our website as well. So I just wanted to present the map with the new route.
This is an action item. There's actually the interlocal agreement between the RMA and TxDOT's on your agenda.
I have a question, Pilar, and I don't know if I should ask it now or during that specific item. But I know that there was, the city of Mission also had a similar request for Trinity,
So,
and that's not on the agenda.
no, so what we did is we educated the city of Mission on what city of Pharr had to do to get that done. And so Warren and I spent some time with the assistant city manager today outlining the procedure on how Pharr got it done so they can attempt to.
So they can attempt to get it done, which is get the minute order.
Yeah, get a minute order and
Provided the templates.
so.
So you've been in contact.
Yeah, we went in contact with the staff to tell them the procedure.
Okay.
Next, we're gonna go over the monthly overweight report for August. There was a total of 6,653 permits issued for a total amount collected of $1,359,010. Of those, 28,410 are convenience fees, and leaves a total of permit fees for $1,330,600, which brings $179,631 to the RMA. Next, we're gonna see a comparison between the latest 3 years. So as you can see for 2024, compared to 2023 on August, there was an increase of more than 2,500 permits. And we expect this to keep increasing because of the new route that was added. Next, we're gonna go through the yearly overweight report from January 2024 to August 31st, 2024. There's a total of 52,643 permits issued for $10,756,402. Of that, 227,802 are convenience fees. And the total permit fees would be $10,528,600, from which 1.4 million goes to the RMA.
So just in comparison, last fiscal year, we collected about $1 million. Almost $1.5 million of it.
Incredible increase.
Produce and fuel and aggregate is fixing to come online.
So you're
Gonna make
making
our
a focus a lot.
Produce even-
Do we think that the election in Mexico is gonna have any impact?
We have not performed that analysis. I don't know the answer.
Well, I mean, Senator did make a comment about some of the business that we're doing with Mexico. Well, do you know why he made the comment?
I do not know, but the permits, overweight permits show for the contrary. Number one, commodities, produce. Number two is fuel. And I think aggregate's gonna be, well, it is gonna be the.
I was thinking back when we were rental, with the debate. That war was gonna be a war with Mexico. Right. I don't know what the heck that came from, because this reflects very different.
They announced this morning, or there was an article this morning in the paper about how they're gonna do a revision to the Panama Canal. That's not working for them, so they're gonna build an actual route from the west coast to the east coast in Mexico. That's, I think, the new president's goal. Yeah, yes, sir.
There's a transatlantic right now, Trans-Pacific right now that goes from Veracruz to Oaxaca.
To Oaxaca, yes, sir.
So you're talking
It's
about,
already in operation.
that's when it's going to be.
Well, no. They want to do inland border to border project in Mexico. So, but that's, I'll get the article and provide it to you.
You know, how is Brownsville and Laredo and El Paso? You know,
I think Pharr Port, in comparison to the Pharr Port of entry, I think Pharr still has the lion's share of traffic. I can get a report from the city of Pharr to compare all the ports along the Texas border. And the last time I looked at it, Pharr was in double digits. And the rest of the ports were still, with the exception of Laredo maybe. But the other ports were in the single digits as far as percentage wise.
I think there is a lot of change, but this is, okay.
And then lastly, we have the accumulated overweight report. In total, from 2014 to 2024, August 31st, we have 367,351 permits for almost $55 million. Of that, 8.4 million have gone to the RMA. And this concludes my development report.
Those we can use for development.
What does Pro Miles stand for again?
That's our third party software.
Okay.
Anything else for the reports?
I don't want to use it.
I'll give you all a quick overview synopsis of the construction projects. We currently have 3 current projects in letting right now. The first being the wetland mitigation project. The board awarded this to Midwest Construction, Midwest Services at a cost of approximately $5.8 million. We issued notice to proceed last month, and we are diligently working on the earthwork and the change order 1 for cost savings. I don't know if you all recall the conversation, bringing them back down to budget and getting them on the charts with some monies and getting them up on some dirt work. We're working all that out and hopefully come before the board next month with that change order, have those cost savings in hand. But they are commencing next week. And we look forward to bringing this project to fruition. It's a 180-day project, means early spring, March, April, we'll have that in place and have a wetland oversight it's overseen by the Valley Land Fund. We're also concurrently or coherently doing the toll collection system project. We've issued approximately $1.9 million out on this project. The last invoice was about $63,000. And this is going to be suffering some delays due to the paving on the heavy highway project. The first gantry points are currently being paved, but we're about two months behind. The material has not been ordered. We're awaiting the manufacturer's delivery date to be able to erect these gantries and conduct the first factory administrative tests on the cameras and toll collection systems, etc. The fiber, the infrastructure is all in place. The gantry and above ground stuff is lacking. And we hope to be able to make that up before the end of the year. And going into the heavy highway project, as you all are well aware, we've issued 13 change orders. And getting to the meat and potatoes of the project, we've gotten 50% production. Issued the $133,728,905.98. We've utilized 72% of the time as of Saturday. This is really small. But as of Saturday, it's all right. I'm just giving the briefing. As of Saturday, we have officially 365 days left. So we're a couple of days shy of a year to get this wrapped up. They have brought in various crews from the interchange. We've got to now have 3 retaining wall crews. We've got 2 paving crews. And the earthwork is going rather quickly now. It looks like they have seen the light or realized they have only got a year left. And there's been a change in attitude, at least there was today. Their construction engineer is here for paving. We'll be reviewing that. FHWA is also here. We had a 7 o'clock board today, and everybody will be out on site observing operations and giving us critiques and betterments on how we may proceed in the construction. After that, it's all pictures, the day and night crews assembling the construction. I'd like to show you all the production on the levee. This is the off ramp that's will be going off to Ware Road. We have completed 95% of the levee in the area. You can see the levee work and how it sort of pictures. Well, you all have them on your packet, but everybody is concerned about what he's going to be able to traverse underneath the bridge and the levee, and that was the intent. So they do have a side road to access. The farmers do to go around. It's a private access road, but the levee's right. Probably got about 4 to 5 feet of clearance underneath the bridge beams, but that was the intent. It was designed to. There you go. It was designed to be in that fashion and be conducted in that manner. We continue.
Is that some type of a road there, an access road or anything?
Of course, answer. Yeah, we have an access road for the farmers through here. And
what about that road that's up on top?
This road up on top. This is it kind of dead ends with the bridge, but it's
I see liability all over.
Yeah, why does it dead end?
It was intentionally constructed in that manner.
Not intentionally, why was it designed that way? Why is that a dead end there?
Well, so there, IBWC has a minimum height on the levee to certify it. So that's meeting the IBWC requirement for the levee height. And then we had a constraint on this is the longest bridge. This is the long bridge that goes across the entire floodway.
So where does that road come from?
So that's just a maintenance road.
This is the maintenance road for the farmers to be able to go through and.
That road right there?
That's a maintenance road. That's just.
For IBWC.
Huh? For IBWC.
IBWC.
Yeah, it's not open to the
Oh,
public.
it's a private.
It's an IBWC, thoroughfare.
It's not
just
open to the
another
public.
Nope. Nobody without a key and to open that gate. would be able to
Just
access
the farmers that have permission to access what they're farming in the floodway.
However, the concern, well, we'll talk about that later, but border patrollers and customs are out there.
See,
Yeah.
what's your opinion on it?
Yeah, well, if it's a private road, we don't have any responsibility on that because that's not a public.
Yeah, that's controlled by IBWC and really, CPB. They're the ones that control access to that. And the farmers that have leases or own land, they have agreements to use that road or the IBWC.
Is that a caliche or is that a?
No, sir, it's an earthwork. It's a earthen road, just dirt.
It's just dirt.
Yes, sir. And, we again constructed, set the last girders, over 23rd Street. We have poured the spans over 23rd. We did that last Friday night. And, this is pretty much looking, this is the retaining wall at Jackson, looking west. You can see some of these retaining walls have been stagnant for a while due to our stop work order. Our suspension, excuse me, correction, our suspension on, on the retaining walls. We have lifted the suspension. All of these green areas have been removed and earthwork and fill is being diligently placed. They are doing the leveled up and placing coping and moving forward. This is the view looking west at Jackson, looking east. This is Jackson Road where we filled in. I don't know how many of y'all remember the area because we've placed about $4 million worth of earthwork in there. There's no longer a floodway or a zone. This is all at ground level. And it looks like a totally different place now. We'll be constructing the roadway. This is where we'll have the north levee relocating from the south, relocating it to the north side. And we are commencing those operations as today we commence doing the earthwork on the new levee locations.
Driving south on Cage, after you pass Plantation and you hit the levee, there's a lot of like digging and earthwork. Is that us?
Yes,
Yes,
That
sir.
dirt out? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where are we taking that dirt?
To the levees, to these locations. It's not us, it's our contractor.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're not driving a truck?
No, sir. I don't want any of that. Liability. Okay, this is looking at Thomas and I Road. We're proposing to put a roundabout or a traffic circle at this intersection. This is looking west northwest. This is the power line that is one of them that is in conflict with the project. And the next view that pretty much wraps up the report, but we are progressing. We've got a different attitude and will be progressing rather aggressively. And looking forward to being able to bring this project to fruition. And as far as the main question of time, we have received their August schedule. They were displaying 281 days in delay. However, and realistically speaking, I think that's more like 90. If you look at the progress that we have done on the project and look at the tasks that we have accomplished, all the structures, the substructures we have in place. And we look forward to bringing these into a realistic perspective once they give us their recovery schedule, which they have refused to provide to us. But we look forward to bringing that to schedule now that we are up to par with our regular construction schedules, or they submitted everything up to September already.
So the schedule you have shows 281 days.
Yes, sir.
That's what we know right now.
That's what we know right now.
You think it's 90
Yes, sir.
based on your professional.
Yes, sir.
200.
That is
No,
90.
90,
That's a
it's 90.
6%.
Why such a big spread?
Yeah.
Because they want to claim damages. So that's what it amounts to. They want to file a claim against us saying, you owe us more money because we've been delayed, you delayed it.
We've had our agencies and our partners that have been delaying the project, that they're leaning and crutching, using as a crutch on.
You delayed us because of irrigation.
It's
You
district.
delayed us because those power lines aren't moved yet. You delayed us.
But they're posturing,
Their posture.
what do you?
Well, because they've got heavy liquidated damages on their side, right? So something we're keeping track of, what we think is theirs and what we think is ours. We'll spend time at the end of the contract discussing that.
How are the new HDR inspectors working?
They're working good. They are very familiar with the heavy highway work, and they're very expensive, but they're working well with us. We probably be shifting out again. I think one of them, the one from El Paso, will be going to his long-term project. We'll get another one into rotation, probably next month. But they're doing their job at a cost for a fee.
Recovery schedule, you expected to get it from the contractor when?
We've been asking the last 3 months, but now that we're up to September, the next schedule they propose is the current schedule. We've asked them for the recovery schedule various times. They've been reluctant to do so, probably because of the fact that I told them they're already locked into that because they provided us the baseline from the beginning already. So the recovery schedule would give us an idea of reality and how much time it would actually take. But once again, they're banking on a claim, and the recovery schedule doesn't lend themselves very well to a claim. If that's where they go.
But they have ramped up production.
They have.
Yeah, they have.
And when you're pricing of the difference in the discrepancy between the loops.
Yes, sir, and they don't agree. But it's like I'm telling them, we can't delay 3 miles of project on one side and 7 miles to another to a 40-foot easement that the power line has on it. You can work 10 to 15 lifts before it becomes a conflict, and they're actually being delayed because of the line.
Are you documenting everything?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, on a daily basis. And just for that case, we have been in touch with AEP, ETT. As you know, we gave them the $2.5 million up front to try and expedite their work. They have gotten their designs in. They're waiting for material manufacturers to provide them with an update, concept date and with a delivery date. I've directed them to deliver not in bulk, but as they get assembled, to bring them down so that we can expedite that work. And bases will start being stabbed, or they will start producing the concrete bases in November. Hopefully we can wrap this up no later than April. The time that they're showing though is the June date, 2025. But I anticipate some good news on their behalf, getting those in the ground quicker than anticipated. That's contributable or attributable to the Buy America requirements. They can get poles from Mexico or from Germany, but we have the Buy America clause. They need to be produced in the US.
So you said they're ramping up production, but in this last pay period, it was 3.2 million.
We had suspensions. We had suspensions of work last month still in place.
For MSC walls.
Yes, sir. The MSC walls halfway through the month through the CRC.
Yeah, for the concrete paving and back for the.
And a lot of that, sir, is what you're seeing is that we've given them a lot of money on the material on hand. So a lot of that gets liquidated in that report.
Any other questions?
Can we schedule the on-site tour?
Yes, sir.
On the next couple of
Whenever you'd
weeks.
like to.
Maybe send some out the next couple of weeks or something, so you know, the board has available at the time.
You let me know when you want to be out there, sir.
That's all we have. Okay. The next item is consent agenda. All matters listed on the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the governing body will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items. Or if discussion is desired, that item or items will be removed from the consent agenda will be considered separately.
Need a motion to approve item consent agenda? Second. Have a motion. In a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say the sign. Motion carries. On to regular agenda.
Yes, sir. Next item is item 3A. Resolution 2024-28, approval of contract with Bernie McCumber and Longoria to provide auditing services for the Hidalgo County Regional Authority and authorization for staff to negotiate and execute an annual engagement letter. We advertised for auditing services and we received 3 responses: Bernie McCumber and Longoria, Barry Dunn, and Juarez CPA. Staff evaluated them. It's in your packet, how to the evaluation criteria and then the scores. And obviously Bernie McCumber, Longoria ranked the number 1, Barry Dunn ranked number 2, and Juarez CPA ranked number 3. Barry Dunn and Juarez had no experience auditing RMAs or toll authorities. They were primarily school districts. Juarez CPA was really a one-man operation. Barry Dunn is a large national firm, so although they have no experience in Texas. Most of their clientele are up in the Northeast. So staff is recommending award to Bernie McCumber Longoria. They were our auditor for the previous 5 years.
Need a motion to approve item 3A, resolution 2024-38. Motion approved.
Second.
Have a motion second. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Item 3B is resolution 2024-39, consideration and approval of an interlocal agreement between the Texas Department of Transportation and the Hidalgo County Regional Mobility Authority for overweight, oversized quarters. Vice Chairman and Directors, this interlocal is to add the Docking Road corridor. It's a 0.8 mile segment. We received a minute order from TxDOT authorizing this segment for up to 1 year. So this ILA gives us authority to issue permits till September 30th, 2025, because that's what the minute order authorized. And the intent is to allow the city of Pharr to go to the next legislative session and see if they can get authority to add off-system roads onto the overweight corridor, which was intended for on-state highway system. So TxDOT, the Texas Transportation Commission gave us temporary authority, and this memorializes that for the next year. Yeah.
And you gave the playbook to the city.
We gave a playbook to the city.
Who does the maintenance of those overweight?
So on Docking Road, City of Pharr will be responsible for maintenance. Under this interlocal agreement, we still get our 15% administrative fee. And then the 85% that's left, City of Pharr, TxDOT will share 1.38% of the fee. Of the remaining 85%, 1.3. So what they did is they did it on a pro rata basis. Right now, we have 57 miles in the overweight network, so this adds 0.8. So 0.8 out of 57 is 1.38%, and that's what they'll share with the City of Pharr. So Pharr will maintain it. We estimate that that's going to probably be about $500,000 over a 1 year.
Any questions?
That recommends.
Need a motion for 3B, resolution 2024-39 for approval. Anybody's problem? Second
Second.
one, Mr. Velazquez. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, same sign. Motion carries.
And then we have no further business for the board's consideration. Question.
Need a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, same sign. Motion carried.